Reading I-Ching. Holding together. Composition of hexagram. Contrary to the previous hexagram, the army, this time, water is flowing above the ground, or we may also say that the water is covering the soil. The first image that comes to my mind is a rice paddy filled with water, waiting for young rice plants to be transplanted. Perhaps the water that has been gathering under the ground in the previous hexagram is now flooding over and soaking the ground. While the preceding hexagram of the army illustrates that we gather people in one place, give them a common vision, and walk forward in synchronized steps, the following hexagram of holding together seems to illustrate what those people need in order to maintain and develop the group continuously. It is important, of course, to dig a new well of water and gather many people around it, but it is equally important to make them settle down for a long time, through the process of cultivating fields, planting crops, and sharing the fruits together. And this hexagram seems to tell us that what is essential for such a process is the harmony and cooperation between one another. Overall meaning. As was also the case with the previous hexagram, this hexagram, holding together, is composed mostly of lines of yin. However, the meaning of the two hexagrams are not quite similar. To be more precise, the characteristic of the army was in general closer to that of yang, in that it talks about a common vision that people share together, and a specific directionality that the large group moves toward, while the characteristic of holding together is rather close to that of yin, in that it is trying to keep such a group together for an extended period of time. When you read ancient Oriental literature, you may often encounter the phrases, such that yin should follow yang for stability and development. Some people misinterpret such a phrase superficially, and say that a woman should always follow a man quietly, in order to keep a household free of trouble. Of course, I oppose to such a viewpoint, and want to interpret it a bit differently. The power of yang may provide a driving force to initiate a task, but you cannot complete any tasks if you keep pursuing a new task every day. In order to complete the task, the power of yin must follow, which sets up an appropriate system, and makes it grow steadily. One of the noticeable differences between the two adjacent hexagrams is the placement of the line of yang. The army has a line of yang in the center of the lower trigram, which represents that the one hope is located at the core of reality, where people of different characteristics come together. 3 lines of yin are located in the upper trigram, which represent that there is a rule that maintains order. In this hexagram of holding together, on the other hand, there is no special center of attention in the lower trigram, which symbolizes that the differences of the individual members are not important in this step. The single line of yang is located at the center of the upper trigram of the ideal world, which represents that such a high ideal is leading people toward a higher place. Let's take a look at how such a small difference can create different story in the next section.